The Model S we designed in the corner of the rocket factory. I tried various outside design houses and nothing good came of that. So I was fortunate enough to encounter Franz von Holzhausen, just a referral from a friend, and Franz came to the opening of the first Tesla store, the one in LA. We had like quite a good party, I think, at the opening, and Franz thought it was a good vibe. And he and I got along really well. So he decided to leave Mazda and join Tesla, which was a very risky move. We literally just put a tent in the far corner of the rocket factory, the SpaceX rocket factory, and put together a small crew and started sculpting the Model S. And the requirements were pretty extreme because we wanted it to be something special. So we wanted something that had more cargo space than any other sedan. I wanted to, be able to carry 7 people plus luggage in the front. So we had the front trunk, and then to have great performance, so great handling, great acceleration. And just a beautiful silhouette. Long range, we wanted to be at least 250 miles. I didn't know it would work. I just designed what I thought would be the perfect car for me, actually. And I think this is generally a good approach to, if you're going to design something or create a product, it's very difficult to infer what others would love, but you know what you love. And so if you pick something that you love, and then hopefully you're not unique in the world, then others will like it too. We're going through the same thing. We went through the same thing with the Model X and the Model 3 and Y, and now the pickup truck is, first with the pickup truck, we were like, that was just like showing basically just different versions, very similar versions to pickup trucks that already exist. That doesn't work that way. You can't build a product that you actually might fall in love with by trying to imagine what somebody else would love. That doesn't work. With Model S and with Roadster, I did most of the design work personally for the original Roadster. But it's actually relatively easy to design a sports car. It's hard to design a sedan that looks good. A sports car, the natural dimensions are quite, they're sort of like model dimensions. You can be long and low, and that just makes it look good automatically, and sleek lines, and you don't have to have lots of cargo space and that kind of thing. It's hard to design a good sedan, and I tried at first, but I did not succeed. And then that's why I decided to ask Franz to join Tesla, and then the two of us worked on this. I was actually always fairly pessimistic about the outcome of Tesla all the way from the beginning. I thought that right from the beginning, when it was just basically sort of kind of 5 of us, I thought, maybe 10% chance of success. And we came very close to failing many times. So I never really thought before it actually happened that it would be that successful. It was quite trippy to see someone in a Model S who was not, I didn't know. So it's a great honor that somebody would part with their hard-earned money to buy our car instead of some other car, We definitely want to show that an electric car could be the best kind of car, that could outperform a gasoline car. So, and I think these days, people they don't remember just how foolish it seemed to make an electric car, and we were just relentlessly denigrated, and said that we're obviously going to fail, and the fact that we're doing an electric car was just stupidity square, and if gasoline cars are just going to go on forever basically, and then if it's not gasoline cars, it's going to be fuel cell cars, and that GM and Toyota had tried electric cars and they'd failed, and how could we succeed when they'd failed? It was just relentless negativity, and it was just negativity continues, of course. But now that there's lots of electric cars, people don't realize that this was not the case at all. For every new car that's bought, there's something on the order of 15 older cars. So even if we had 100% of all cars sold, it'd take 15 years to replace the fleet, and really 20 years if you go beyond the U.S. So average life of a car is about 20 years. But really, what we found is that with at first people said it was impossible to make a long-range, high-performance electric car, physically impossible. We're like, but it's obviously, you do the physics, do the math, and it's clearly possible. But then they said if we made it, nobody would buy it because they just want gasoline cars. So we made the Roadster, then we sold the Roadster around 500 or 600 cars a year, which is like small, but clearly, people did want the car. And then they said then the argument against going electric was, sure, you can make a toy electric sports car. Everyone knows that. I'm like, you didn't say that last time, but you definitely couldn't make a real car. Like what about like a premium sedan like a Mercedes, BMW, or an Audi? Like there's no way you can make a car like that electric. You have to have all these features and functionality. It's going to be incredibly safe. So then said, okay, well, we'll make that kind of car, and that will convince the industry. If we make the Model S the best sedan, we kind of discovered that, particularly with dual motor, and like pushing the envelope on the power electronics, and then having kind of like a launch mode where you kind of wind up the half shafts and everything. That you put all these things together and you can go a lot faster. So then I'm like, okay, we already have insane mode, I guess ludicrous. And then the only thing, of course, beyond ludicrous is plaid. No, I mean, there's clearly a lot of momentum at this point, particularly in China. I mean, China's making half of all electric cars in the world. It's hard for us to compete in China. So like our sales in China have always been relatively small, like disproportionately small to the market compared to the market, because we have always had to pay import duties, and they've been very significant at times, up to 40%. And then we never had access to any of the tax incentives that the local companies had. So we had a huge financial disadvantage. With locally produced cars, we should be on something close to a level playing field. So there's pretty good output of electric cars these days. It really seems like there's a lot of momentum towards electric, and there are a number of countries have said that they're going to ban combustion engine cars as soon as 2025 or 2030, and it's certainly going to make it harder to sell gasoline cars. I think, like from a financial standpoint, if for consumers that are looking towards the future, there's clearly a strong social movement in every country, or almost every country, I think, towards sustainability. And I think from a residual value standpoint, an electric car is likely to be a much smarter financial decision than a gasoline car. From a design standpoint, I don't think there was a really big binary decision. I mean, maybe going from 2 screens to 1 screen, not having a screen in front of the steering wheel. There was like a lot of debate of like, well, is there enough screen real estate? Like maybe people really want that sort of cockpit feel. So there was like, I got a fair bit of pushback on going from 2 to 1 screen. But I think, my opinion was like, I think people prefer having like an open view of the road and just having more visibility, and we can fit it all in 1 screen. And then we can always use the phone as kind of a backup. It was hard to make the Model 3 look good. That was not easy. There were a lot of nuances around the body shape, especially the nose. It's tough to, for an electric car, if you don't have a big grille in the front, you don't want to have the nose look like Voldemort. It just doesn't look good. So you've got to put some lines. You've got to get some character, or it just does not look good. It's very difficult. And then in doing so, not affect the aerodynamics in a significantly bad way. We switched from Model S having air inlets and heat exchangers on either side to having one sort of central one. And then with the width we changed from 195 centimeters to 185 centimeters. From S to 3 went down by 10 centimeters, which was actually a design decision driven by Japan. Parking machines in Japan go from 185 centimeters to 195 centimeters. We initially made the mistake of certifying the Model S as 196 centimeters, and then they wouldn't put in any of the parking machines in Japan. So it was hard to sell cars in Japan. So like, oh, well, this time we'll make sure the width it fits in even the smallest parking machine. So 185 centimeters does that. But then you have less width. You've got to get everything. You're still going to make it roomy on the inside. You want the car always to feel roomier on the inside than it looks on the outside. The glass roof really helps with the headroom. That's our goal: is to make the car, have the car make you as happy as possible.